Deutschland, welcome to Germany. Come to Germany and be part of something amazing. We are so much more than you could ever believe possible. I am a traditional German smoker, and as the ambassador of Germany, it is my pleasure to share insights to my country. As you learn more about our wonderful environment, food, and the benefits of business here, you will be as excited to be in Germany as I am. Germany is in the middle of Europe. More than 82 million people live here between the North Sea and the Baltic Sea and the Alps in the south of Germany. Germany is bordered by Denmark to the north and shares borders with many of the European Union countries around it. A number of mid-sized mountain ranges traverse the country. You could probably name our most important rivers. They include the Rhine, the Danube, the Elbe, and the Oder. There are large metropolises, which include Berlin, our capital, Hamburg, Munich, Cologne, and the Rhine-Main region around Frankfurt. You will be pleased to note that the climate is temperate and marine in nature. Business should rarely be impacted as the only natural disaster reported is occasional flooding. As shown by the pie chart, the largest portion of the population is 15 to 64 years of age. The population growth rate is a negative 0.208 and the birth rate is 218th in the world. People in Germany are living longer and fewer babies are being born. 74% of the population lives in an urban environment and the rate of change from rural to urban is zero. Once you decide what part of the country to locate your business, the employee base should stay stable and retention should not be an issue, at least from a relocation perspective. German society is changing and is increasingly multicultural. Old masters garner as much respect as young newcomers. We have developed into a country of immigrants in the past 50 years. 10% of the people living in Germany don't have a German passport. Some 7 million are what is known as people with a migration background, which means they have been born in Germany, but their parents are foreign immigrants. Germany is a very educated country, with a 99% literacy rate and an average education of 16 years. 4.5% of the GDP is spent on education. According to the U.S. Census Bureau of countries that are English-speaking, approximately 56% of Germans speak English. Among the urban workforce, it is estimated at 75%, with 30% speaking multiple language. English has been required in the schools since the early 1980s. Why not consider offshoring a call center where the language is already clearly spoken? There are 43.44 million people in the workforce, which is 14th in the world. Germany's Federal Employment Agency estimates that the seasonal adjusted unemployment rate is 10.8%. And according to the statistics provided by the US CIA website, 67.8% of the workforce is in services, 29.7% in industry, and 2.4% in agriculture. A very interesting thing to note is 61% of the household consumption is available for other than the necessities of life. This should definitely be an enticement for any prospective company to Germany. Germany is known for amazing scenery, beautiful castles, and the Autobahn. As part of your company events, visiting Rothenburg is a must. Rothenburg is Germany's best preserved wall town and the jewel of the medieval trade route known as the Romantic Road. In the Middle Ages, when Frankfurt and Munich were just white spots in the road, Rothenburg was Germany's second largest city with a population of 6,000. Today, it's Europe's most exciting medieval town, enjoying tremendous tourist popularity. The Night Watchman of Rothenburg provides tourists a taste of what life was like centuries ago in the medieval walled town, while carrying a long hooked spear that the Night Watchman uses for protection while making their nightly rounds. An off-site company retreat to Rothenburg is a memorable experience for your international staff and your local German staff. With the advent of the Cold War, two German states were formed in 1949, the Western Federal Republic of Germany and the Eastern German Democratic Republic. The Democratic FRG embedded itself in key Western economic and security organizations like the European Union and NATO, while the Communist GDR was on the front line of the Soviet-led Warsaw Pact. The decline of Russia and the end of the Cold War allowed for German unification in 1990. Since then, Germany has expended considerable funds to bring Eastern productivity and wages up to Western standards. As Europe's largest economy and second most populous nation after Russia, Germany is a key member of the continent's economic, political, and defense organizations. Europe in recent months has lamented its apparently growing disenchantment with the European project and financial instability. Within the last month, Angela Merkel, Germany's chancellor, grudgingly agreed to a series of progressively larger bailouts of weaker Euro members, but she dragged her feet along the way and emphasized the country's commitment to German solidarity rather than the country's commitment to the Euro and to the European Union. Germany is a leading exporter of machinery, vehicles, chemicals, and household equipment, and benefits from a highly skilled labor force. Engineering is also exported in the form of strong engineering firms such as Hochtief and Siemens. The gross net index and the gross domestic products are both up from 2000 and 2001 and have been stable from 2008 and 2009. Germany exports 2 times what we import. As we will describe in detail later, Germany has the installed capacity you need for your company, and we are a strong supporter of renewable energy. Sometimes stereotypes do hit home. Beer remains Germany's favorite drink, so it's no wonder there are more than 1,000 varieties here. Brewing has a long tradition in this country. Germany's beer purity law was proclaimed on April 23, 1516, making it the oldest food law in the world. Germany is also known for its wine production. There are a number of wine regions in the country, and it is best known for its white wines. Germany compares very favorably with other countries in the world. We have the 5th largest economy and the 14th largest labor force, an educated workforce as described. The industrial production growth rate is 10.9% and 23rd by country comparison. We are 3rd in exports and 4th in imports, and 6th in GDP when measured by purchasing power parity. In trading across borders, Germany is 13th in the ease of import and 14th in the ease of export. Documentation and red tape are minimal, with only 4 or 5 documents necessary each, and the time that it takes is only 7 days. Germany remains a key in exports to the European Union at 52.9%, 12.5% of exports to the US, and 3.5% to Switzerland. We are part of the European Patent Office, World Intellectual Property Organization, Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Association, and part of the Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights. We respect creativity, innovation, as well as your company's intellectual property. As part of the European Union, all trade agreement negotiations benefit its members collectively. In October of 1954, Germany and the U.S. signed a still valid trade agreement called the Germany Friendship, Commerce, and Navigation Treaty. The treaty sets out a fair trading policy between the two countries in which the U.S. and German firms shall be given respect and assistance when doing business within each other's territory. The GDP was 4.7% in 2009, but grew by 3.6% in 2010. In its annual projection for 2011, the federal government expects the upswing to continue, with GDP forecast to grow this year at a real rate of 2.3%. The recovery was attributable primarily to rebounding manufacturing orders and exports, increasingly outside of the Eurozone. Domestic demand, however, is becoming a more significant driver of Germany's economic expansion. Stimulus and stabilization efforts initiated in 2008 and 2009 and tax cuts introduced in 2010 have increased Germany's budget deficit to 3.3%. To maintain stability, a constitutional amendment approved in 2009 limits the federal government to structural deficits of no more than 0.35% of GDP per annum as of 2016. Most of the country's products are in engineering. We are among the world's largest and most technologically advanced producers of iron, steel, coal, cement, chemicals, machinery, vehicles, food, electronics, beverages, shipbuilding, and textiles. Germany is the leading producer of wind turbines and solar power technology in the world. Our natural resources include coal, lignite, natural gas, iron ore, copper, nickel, uranium, potash, salt, construction materials, and timber. Included are logos of German companies included in Fortune's 2009 Most Admired Companies. The names are familiar and they have flourished in Germany. How soon can you add your company logo to this list? Germany has one of the world's most technologically advanced telecommunication systems as a result of intensive capital expenditures since reunification. The formerly backward system of the eastern part of the country, dating back to World War II, has been modernized and integrated with that of the western part. Domestically, Germany is served by an extensive system of automatic telephone exchange connected by modern networks of fiber optic cable, coaxial cable, microwave radio relay, and a domestic satellite system. Cellular telephone service is widely available, expanding rapidly, and includes roaming services to many foreign countries. Our international service is excellent worldwide, consisting of extensive land and undersea cable facilities, as well as earth stations and various satellite systems, resulting in an ease of doing business for international corporations. Planes, trains, and roadways provide an excellent supply chain infrastructure. There are almost 42,000 kilometers of rail lines, making it sixth in country comparison. We are 11th worldwide in roadways and 19th in waterways, as the Rhine River carries most goods and the Danube canals link the North Sea and the Black Sea. Those who wrote Germany's new constitution took a lesson from history. They insisted that the principles of free democratic basic order, constitutional law, and the separation of powers be codified irrevocably in the German Basic Law, which was implemented in May of 1949 and later became the Constitution of Germany, the United Germany, of October of 1990. The aim is to protect and prohibit the misuse of power and erosion of rights by Germany's rulers and avoid another dictatorship. It provides two very important functions, ensuring the rights of the individual as well as the establishment of bodies of government for the land. Under civil law, there is no precedent set by judicial rulings. For this reason, case law only binds those parties that have brought the case to court. We accept international criminal court jurisdictions. The corruption perception index for Germany in 2009 was 8. According to the 2011 Ease of Doing Business statistics, we are sixth in the world in enforcing contracts. Based on the Hofstede cultural dimensions, this is not a surprise. The power distance index is less than 40, indicating the desire of equality, and a high uncertainty avoidance index of 70%, which indicates strict adherence to laws and rules, safety and security measures. Home to Germany's steel and coal industries, the area between Amsterdam and Frankfurt was the most polluted in Europe. Emissions from coal-burning utilities and industries contributed to air pollution. Because of this and pollution in the Baltic Sea from raw sewage and industrial effluent from the old Eastern Germany environment, it has become a significant focus for the government. The government has established mechanisms for ending the use of nuclear power also over the next 15 years and is aggressively implementing renewable energy. In light of the issues in Japan, Germany is also rethinking its earlier decision to prolong the life of nuclear power plants. Until it closed the 7 pre-1980 nuclear plants, Germany was Europe's leading energy exporter. However, do not be concerned. Germany's planners believed they could forego nuclear energy in large part because the country's remarkable progress in renewable energy. In 2011, 20% of our electric output came from renewable energy, a number the government estimates will double in 10 years. Wind alone accounts for 6.2% of the electric industry. On days when the offshore wind turbines spin full tilt, Germany produces more electricity from renewable sources than it can use. We do face demographic challenges of sustained long-term growth. Low fertility rates and declining net immigration are increasing the pressure on the country's social welfare system. 20% of the population is over 65. Tax rates are high, but there are strict tax laws and a tax treaty with the U.S. so that foreigners are given a break from double taxation. Germany offers numerous incentives for foreign investors. There are a variety of programs available designed to fit the needs of diverse economic activities at different stages of investment process. Support ranges from cash incentives to R&D incentives. Find out how your investment project can benefit from public funding. We make it easy. We are 22nd out of the 183 economies. Come build your future in Germany.